Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I will be welcoming Mark Tierno. You may remember him. He was the magician in Knightriders, and he was also a zombie in Day of the Dead, and he was George Romero's production assistant on Creepshow. He got to be on 3 of George Romero's very best films. I'm having him on the show today to talk about those and to promote his upcoming appearance at Living Dead Weekend in Monroeville, Pennsylvania, which happens every summer, and I'm so fucking jealous of all the people who get to go because I'm stuck here in California and not in the position to travel, so to speak. But anyways, I'm having him on the show today to talk about all that stuff. So yeah, here is my interview with Mark Tierno. So Mark, how are you today?
Good.
Happy Memorial Day, sir. It's such an honor, and
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time today.
Yeah, I had to. I had invited to some friends, and that's why I had to change the phone number because I thought I was going to be home.
Okay, well let's get to it.
Sure.
So going back in time, were you on the acting trajectory early on?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Or do you mean through with Romero?
I
was.
I mean you personally.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I just sort of fell into, with Knightriders, that I was the first George Romero Knightriders was the first film I auditioned, and they actually offered me a part, but I was working full time. I think it was going to be a courier.
Mm-hmm.
Not a courier. It was, but I couldn't do it. I would have had to quit my job, and I didn't really want to do that. And and so they offered me. I was the troupe magician.
But
I could work.
But you never did plays in school?
I did. Yes.
And you're originally from Pennsylvania?
Yeah, I'm from Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you got cast. Oh, go ahead.
No, that's all.
Oh, so you got cast in Knightriders because.
Yeah, that was the first Romero film that I got cast in. Was Knightriders, and then again, I would have had a bigger part if I would have quit my job, but I couldn't. I didn't want to, quit it. I had a full-time job, and so I was just coming on, the days it would take off or weekends or weekends. But then, and I was in, like Day of the Dead and Creepshow.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, had you seen George's other movies before that?
I probably saw Dawn of the Dead, but I really can't remember it. I mean, I remember, I've seen it enough times now. Mm-hmm. And in fact, there's the Living Dead Weekend coming up here at the Monroeville Mall, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be showing Dawn in 3D.
Oh, that's great.
And I have a ticket for that. So,
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen it in a few years, but I had nothing to do with it. I didn't work on it or anything.
Oh, I watched it last night, actually.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
But he was probably considered a major celebrity in Pittsburgh by the time that you were making Knightriders.
Yeah, I mean, mean, to some extent, I don't think it was as much as what is later or even now how he's revered. But yeah, to some extent he was. But of course, he was veering from his horror film background doing Knightriders.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a unique idea. Certainly was a unique, and it got really good reviews. But yeah.
Yeah, I saw Knightriders for the first time about 15 years ago, and I was blown away by how ambitious and out there this movie was. It's kind of like, you know,
Yes.
Dawn of the Dead for Camelot reenactors.
Yes. And I mean, I remember watching the stunt guys,
Mm-hmm.
and girls, I think, and they had to make up what they were doing, and it was just incredible. Like they would fly off the motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
One of the ways they would do that, they would have ropes around them, and they would ride like at a pretty fair clip, and then they would pull the rope, and it would pull them off the bikes.
Yeah.
It's just like very dangerous.
Yeah.
They had to come up with that stuff because nobody ever, there wasn't a method to jousting on motorcycles.
Yeah, it seems to me that this was a dream project for George because it was outside the horror genre.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I had always heard about Civil War reenactors, but not Camelot reenactors, especially ones who ride on motorcycles.
Yeah, it is something different. You're right.
Yeah, it's on such a small budget. It looks like it was shot in like months and months.
Yeah, and it was shot over a period of time, but it was pretty cool, and as you know, Ed Harris was I think his first film.
He played he actually played a bad guy in a Charles Bronson movie before this.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
You knew that. I didn't know. But I think that Chris Romero, George's wife,
right,
knew him from college.
Oh.
And she was the one that, I believe was the connection. I believe she knew him. And they went to college together and knew that he was a really good actor.
Mm-hmm. Were you surprised at all when he became a huge star?
I don't know. I mean, maybe I was. I mean, I was happy for him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I never.
I sort of associated him with that role so much, because I was there, but I'm fighting the dragon,
Yeah.
And
So how did acting on that movie lead to you working as a production assistant on Creepshow?
Well, what happened was I was actually a stand-in on Creepshow. It's the credits say production assistant, PA, but I was a stand-in. I was a stand-in for Fritz Weaver.
Mm-hmm.
For sometimes for Hal Holbrook too. I was a stand-in for, interestingly, for Stephen King. I was his stand-in, and for Ted Danson.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had the part, voiceover part in the They're Creeping Up on You in the last segment with E.G. Marshall.
Right.
Yeah, and he was an interesting fellow. He was a very good actor. He was really good.
Yeah.
On that part. I know they said to him, they asked him, doesn't it creep you out to work with these cockroaches? And he said, no. He said, I grew up in Hell's Kitchen in New York. So, obviously, yeah, they were always there. Interesting thing was, George, we started working on that. They had 10,000 cockroaches. They had these two entomologists from the Museum of Natural History.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them were American cockroaches. Some were cockroaches from, I think, South America in caves. They were really large. And they would eat the back guana. So they weren't household roaches. But, there was 10,000, but soon there were double that. And I'm sure triple. And they had their own trailer on set. I can still remember the smell because it was really distinctive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, they, an interesting thing, when I met, George introduced us. I introduced E.G. Marshall and myself. And, said, this is E.G. Marshall, this is Mark Tierno. And he had his latex gloves on, his white suit, and I put out my hand to shake, and he said, he threw up his hands and said, I'm sterile. And I don't know where it came from. I said, perhaps you can adopt. And George's face dropped. And, that's my E.G. Marshall story.
That's pretty funny, though. Hell's Kitchen, New York.
Yeah.
That's my favorite horror anthology movie. It's really scary and really funny, and it holds up over time,
Yeah,
And,
it does. It does.
And they're making a series out of it that Greg Nicotero is going to do.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right, the TV show.
Yeah, that's going to be good. Now comes Day of the Dead. My least favorite of the original trilogy in terms of story, but I love it so much because it's got great actors, great suspenseful build-up, great music. Yeah. Did George just call you up and ask you to be a zombie?
No, I actually I did audition and for one of the soldiers. It may have been Greg Nicotero's part. I can't remember, but I didn't get the part. I'm sure they looked at me and they probably thought they want somebody a little beefier. And so I didn't get that part, but they offered me the featured zombie part. And I said, sure. And the one thing I like about Day is that I don't think it is dated as the other two of the trilogy, because they're in a cave. They have either soldier uniforms or white lab coats, and you don't see any automobiles. You do at one point see a helicopter, and you see your golf carts, but I don't think that dates it. But you know what I mean? I think that helps. It helps it not be as dated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had to cut back a lot of stuff he had in the original script because of the budget.
Right. I don't know the particulars of that, but I know he did. Yeah.
How long did it take to apply the makeup on you?
It was about 2.5 to 3 hours.
Wow.
And I originally went over to Tom Savini's studio, and he took mask of my face and hands and body, into my body, and then to make his latex mask. And I remember he also did my teeth. And I remember I thought he was going to I thought it was going to pull my teeth out. It was so tight. The mold was so tight on my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
It was really uncomfortable.
Yeah. How many days did you work?
I worked, I think it was like 4 or 5 days. I worked on the first day of shooting.
Mm-hmm.
This is my story. I worked on the first day of shooting for the film. Was the first day I worked. And I had all this makeup on. We went overtime.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back, after shooting, I came back to the special effects room, and they were all gone. Everybody was gone, and I had all this makeup on.
Mm-hmm.
Tom, Greg Nicotero, who was an intern at the time,
Mm-hmm.
they were all gone. And I didn't know what to do. I had to leave. I could take the mask off. They pulled the mask off, but there was all this paint makeup was on my face, and I couldn't get that off.
Mm-hmm.
And I came in the next day with it still on. And George made a rule at that point that they can't leave until the last actor leaves.
I think that's some of Tom's best makeup that he's ever done.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, all the zombie makeup in that movie, I think, is some of his best work. It's a lot more gruesome than the makeup he had in Dawn of the Dead, because Dawn of the Dead was really comic booky, and this one is a lot more darker and stuff. I think you and Sherman Howard's zombies are probably the two most memorable zombies in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Certainly Sherman Howard. Howard Sherman, actually.
Yeah.
And, Bob was definitely memorable. But, but it did take a long time to do the makeup. Was it? I don't know what his makeup was, how long it took, but mine was 2.5 to 3 hours.
Mm-hmm. To me, this was George's last great movie, and then after that, I think he got kind of demonetized by the studio system, and his movies didn't really live up to his vision.
Mm. Yeah.
Did you like working with Laurie Cardille and Joe Pilato and all them?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still very good friends with Laurie.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I've done all other films and other projects and never had the closeness that we have. Having done it so long ago, we're still all good friends. But I'm still good friends with Laurie. Joe, I was too. It's also bad that he passed away. Gary Clark. But we were all very close.
Yeah, Laurie's been on the podcast. She's a lot of fun. She's like one of the guys,
Mm-hmm.
And the day that I tried to reach out to Joe Pilato was the day that I found out he died, ironically.
Oh, no, too bad.
Yeah, I waited too long. I felt so bad. But I also did get to interview the guy who sings the song at the end, Sputsy Spiracino.
Oh, I don't know him, but
yeah,
that's cool.
He's a great guy. Yeah, really passionate about music. So I see on your IMDb over the years, you've done a lot of movies, but you've gone through many periods where you stopped and then came back.
I might have been doing theater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I've lived in New York too for a while, and we're doing theater and doing commercials and things like that. I have I can see there's a film that's on Amazon Prime right now called Fancy Piece of Homicide.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm pretty proud of.
I'll take a look at it.
Sure.
So in terms of film acting, are you back for good now?
Yeah, I really didn't purposely take off a vacation from film. But now I'm finding I'm doing a lot more film than I am stage. And part of it is age and just the way things are working out, But I enjoy film, and it's great.
Oh, that's great. So you're going to be reuniting with everyone at Living Dead Weekend. June 14th to the 16th.
Right. And it's a Dawn and Creepshow reunions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have you gone before?
I have. Last year, I think it was just a Dawn. I can't remember. At least at the mall it was. But they have one in Evans City, which is the location of Night of the Living Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And they have that in October, I think. October, and I'm usually there and have a table, and and that's fun too. And that's sort of mostly outside.
Mm-hmm. I just found
small town. The small town outside of Pittsburgh. I think it's about 40 minutes or so.
Yeah, I just found out about this like a year and a half ago and stuff. How long have they been doing Living Dead Weekend?
I don't know. I'm going to say 6-8 years.
Okay, so
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure.
Okay, so it's fairly recent.
Sorry, yeah. I'm just not sure.
Mm-hmm. So they do one in June at the mall that Dawn of the Dead was shot, and then they do it somewhere else in October.
Yeah, and that's at Evans City.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin, who runs it, had a shop in the Monroeville Mall. And part of his shop was sort of unusual. A lot of it was figurines from the Romero films, and he has a museum to Romero, and actually all zombies.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a wall of shame or something like that, and we put our handprints on it. He put them in paint, and we have the handprints on it. But he moved it all up to Evans City. I don't think the mall was, that time was real conducive to having this being associated with Dawn of the Dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they seem to have changed.
Mm-hmm.
There's even a bust of George that's on display in the mall.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really.
Christian did it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd really like to go to the mall one someday. It's hard.
That'd be great. Yeah.
It's hard for me to travel and stuff these days, but I'm trying to get a lot of conventions in California to book a lot of you guys, because it would be great to meet a lot of you guys and stuff. And I see a lot you guys mostly do stuff, in Pennsylvania or somewhere in the Midwest,
Yeah, it seems like it. I haven't been doing many lately, but I did in the past. I did one. There was one in Burbank that I did.
Son of Monsterpalooza?
What's that?
Was it Monsterpalooza?
Yeah, it was Monsterpalooza.
Yeah.
And, but yeah. And I looked at some of I tried to see if they were see if there was any interest, but I couldn't get any interest in some of the others. I don't think any are as big as Monsterpalooza. I know Sacramento has something, but it seems to be pretty local.
Yeah, Sacramento has Sister Creature Con, which I'll be attending in a couple of weeks. And,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hopefully you guys will get booked for California somewhere eventually, and I'll be there. Definitely.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Yes.
That'd be good.
So, Mark, I thank you so much for coming on.
You're very welcome.
This was an amazing honor, and I hope you have a lot of fun next weekend, or in 2 weeks.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you. It was great.
Absolutely. Have yourself a great day or night.
You too. You too.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there you have it. Mark Tierno. Ain't he a cool dude? Thank you so much, Mark. You're a nice man. I got some good stories there. And hope to meet you someday in California. But in the meantime, Living Dead weekend will be in 2 weeks. And I'm going to try to make it out there next year for the 35th anniversary of Day of the Dead. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes.